Hey, everybody. We're checking in here midweek, week two. Hopefully, things are coming together and you're starting to get everything balanced, figure out this class, other classes, everything else you got going on. But hopefully, this class will be enjoyable. Nice little break and learn about Japan. Um, I uploaded your Padlet from last week. That was really good. A lot of good foods there. I learned about some foods that I'd never heard of before that I'm looking forward to trying. Some that I can even get around here, which is nice about Hilo and Hawaii in general. Is that there's enough Japanese connection that a lot of people are familiar with these types of foods, and if you aren't, you have access to them. So that's great. Thank you very much. I uploaded that on to this week's um, uh, Lalima lesson, so you can look at them and look at other people's as a PDF. You can download it if you want to. So that's good. This week we're kind of shifting on to geography, and I think sort of two components to get to know another culture is food. I think is the most important, and two is sort of an awareness of space and place. Um, and so that's kind of what this week's all about. What is Japan? What is it made of? Where are the different regions located? What is significant to each of these regions? Japan, areas of Japan are as distinct as areas in America. People from Hokkaido up north are quite different from people in Kyushu or even like Osaka and Tokyo, right? They're kind of like the New York, LA difference. Um, there that at least from my heard, Tokyo is a little more reserved and quiet, where Osaka people are sort of louder and kind of more excitable, if you will. Uh, and then Kyoto obviously is the old capital, so it's a lot of traditionalness in Kyoto. And then you have the rural, urban, and rural Japan. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot to know. Different places. Mount Fuji is important. Issei, which we'll talk about, Shintoism. And so take a look at those. So get familiar with Japan. That's the whole point of this week. Is there? There's a lot to visit. Some of you mentioned in your introductions. Have you been to places in Japan? In this path, this is a good way to do that. I would talk about something you've seen, your personal experience. That'd be great. I'd love to hear what people have shared. I've been to Tokyo, spent a lot of time in Yokohama. Kamakura is one of my favorite places, kind of right on the ocean. Old capital as well. So there's a lot of really cool temples and Buddhist Shinto shrines all around. A lot of in Kamakura there. So that was cool. I really like that area. Um, I took the train from the bullet train all the way to Osaka, Kyoto. Those are great cities. So yeah, you can take it, getting on the bullet train and just seeing the Japanese, your kind of city, countryside. It's like a really good mix of the two there. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely cool spots. I mean, I still want to go to Hokkaido up north, especially could maybe do some skiing up there. My wife's mom and my brother-in-law's family are both from Kyushu, southern Japan, Kagoshima area. So I'd really like to go visit there sometime. Okinawa as well, sometimes seen as sort of the Hawaii of Japan. They have their own language, they have their own sort of culture down there. I mean, they speak Japanese, but there's a local language too there. So that's geography. Get familiar with that. I think it's good to really know. I mean, it'll help you get to know about Japan. And then if you meet someone from Japan and they're saying, "Hey, I'm from so and so," you can kind of have an idea of where that is. And then our reading today, Kisetsu, seasons. Again, I think the reading is also important. It kind of shows how the seasons play into Japanese food. A lot of people mention that in their Padlets of things. Certain foods are eaten at certain times. Usually when they're fresh. Japan still runs like that. Fresh produce or things from that time. You'll find those in the supermarket. And they're very prized. And different regions are known for different things. Like up north, Amori is really known for its apples and fresh water, sake and rice. So these different regions are known for different delicacies as well. So, and they at certain seasons, and nature talks about how nature dictates how things are built. Construction for the hot and the cold. How farming plays a role in Japanese culture. Uh, yeah, food, annual festivals, right? Each season has this particular festival. Spring, obviously, the cherry blossoms, Hanami festivals, flower viewing. Summertime, the Navatas, or the Star Festival. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. This is where a lot of people go like hang out at the beach, where it's a little cooler than inland. But then there's rainy seasons, typhoons, so there's natural sort of the issues. I mean, natural disasters in Japan, or there's that role of nature as well. So yeah, it talks about seasons and New Year's around the winter season, sort of bringing out that spring will come soon. So yeah, hopefully you're getting to know a little bit more about Japan, places in Japan. Look at those videos. Upload a Padlet so you can kind of talk about a particular place as well. It's great, and hopefully everyone's having a good week.